Hi, Megan here from Crystal Lake Public Library Adult Services. Today I'm going to show you how to make a frozen hot chocolate. It's negative 10 out today, so why not make a delicious frozen treat? So this is a perfect for Valentine's or just any day of the week. I've taken the recipe from Ina Garden. It's from the book Cooking for Jeffrey, but it's also available online. So you could get the ebook, the physical book, or just look up Ina Garden recipes. And I'll have that attached to the video as well. So the first thing we need is 4 ounces of bittersweet chocolate is what she calls for. I've used this dark chocolate, 72%. This I buy at Trader Joe's, but you can use any type of chocolate that you like. The sweeter the chocolate, the sweeter the drink. So I've used my scale and measured out my chocolate, and then I've chopped it up. So 2 options after you measure out your chocolate. You can either warm up a saucepan with a little bit of water at the bottom, place your bowl right on top, and gently warm that on the stove, or you can take your chocolate and microwave it. Either option works, whichever is easiest for you. If you microwave it, do it in 30-second intervals. Give it a stir in between until it's nice and smooth and completely melted. So I'm going to choose my microwave option. The microwave's down here. I'm going to get the rest of my ingredients all ready, and you will need a blender for this. So I've pre-measured my milk. You need about a half a cup of milk. I've used whole milk today, but I've had it before with almond milk, oat milk. You can use a can of coconut milk. That works out really nice as well. So you pour your milk in the blender. I'm going to check my chocolate. Not melted yet, so 30-second intervals, just give it a stir. Pop that back in until it's nice and melty. And the next ingredient that she calls for are 1.5 tablespoons of sugar. So you can play around with this. Pop that right in, 1.5 tablespoons. And so if your chocolate is sweeter, maybe omit the sugar. Next is cocoa powder, and the same, 1.5 tablespoons of cocoa powder. And whichever kind of cocoa powder you have, Dutch process or not, it doesn't really matter. It just gives it a richer chocolate flavor. So 1.5 cups of milk, and then half a cup of half and half. I use heavy cream at home, so that's what I used here. We'll need a whipped topping for decorating the top, so I bought whipped cream, but you can make that at home. You can use a Cool Whip topping, whatever you prefer. My chocolate's coming along nicely. It's getting nice and melty. Still some big chunks in there. So I'm going to microwave it again and add the rest of the ingredients. So on Ina Garden's recipe, it calls for 4 tablespoons of either a coffee liqueur like Kahlua or a shot of espresso. And of course, those are optional. I'm going to be serving this to my kids, so I'm not doing either of those. I'm just completely omitting that, and it tastes wonderful either way. So that was a teaspoon of vanilla. And then we're going to get ice. So it calls for 4 cups of ice. I just do a couple of handfuls and pop those right in the blender. Check my chocolate. Hopefully it's all nice and melty now. Oh, still a little bit of chunks because I didn't chop it finely enough. So I'm going to pop that back in. So you can pre-blend this while your chocolate's warming, and I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna pause for a sec because my blender is very loud. So I've done a pre-blend of my first ingredients without my melted chocolate. So you can tell from the consistency at this point if you'll need more ice. So then you take your melted chocolate and pour it right in to the blender bowl. And then you're gonna blend that again. And mine is pretty thin, so I want it a little thicker, so I'm gonna add another cup of ice. So I'm up to about 3 cups of ice at this point. And the recipe calls for 4. And then I got a couple of different glasses out to pour this into. And I will blend this and then I'll pour it in, and you can use sundae cups, you can use regular glass, plastic cups, whatever works for you. And then you can decorate it with whipped cream and maybe some curled chocolate or a sprinkle of cocoa powder. So I'm going to blend this again, and then I'll show you how to top it off. Okay, so I've blended it up, and now I'm just going to choose a couple different glasses, as I said. Whoops. Okay, and I have enough for 4. A little bit left there in the bottom. And a nice little whipped cream on top. And there you have it. Frozen hot chocolate. I hope you enjoy this recipe. Let me know what you think. Thanks.